We're potting. Pod in the USA. I was podding in the USA. I was pod in the USA. This is somebody's listening in America. The President of the United States has COVID. And just as we all predicted, he got out of the hospital and then immediately used it as an excuse to, I'm still wearing a mask on my neck. Jesus Christ, let me take this stupid. I got the headphones. All right, that's good enough. Good enough. We'll just let it dangle for a while, folks. We haven't put any of these episodes on YouTube yet, but by the time you're watching this, maybe it will be. We're still figuring it out, okay? Bear with us. We're figuring stuff out. We got ideas. Got some texts that are not important. I'm just trying to bring up my notes. I have a lot to talk about. in a limited amount of time. Okay, well, here's the funny thing. Spotify employees complaining about Joe Rogan. They think Joe Rogan, he's hateful and his guests, and he doesn't represent something. And I feel like you're Elon Musk with the galaxy brain looking at me right now. He's wearing a mask that is like the moon.
Tesla.
And the stars. He's in disguise. He's not, he's just the producer, not trying to bring too much attention to himself, I guess. So he's wearing some kind of space bandit,
Well,
Space bandit.
Halloween is coming up, so I think I'll be playing as Elon Musk trying to convince Joe Rogan we need Tesla cars on Mars.
Why would he need to convince Joe Rogan of that? Because of his massive influence?
Well, he does have a chimpanzee brain. That's kind of the whole appeal of his character. Okay. It's like you get smart scientists in the show. He's like a dumb ape. He's like, oh, you see, if you smoke DMT, you unlock into the fourth dimension. And he's like, what the fuck?
Okay. So, by the way, this is going to contain some language that is a little offensive to some people, but all I am is quoting something that Spotify allows on their platform. So, without further ado, Spotify thinks we're mad at Joe Rogan. The employees they're saying he's transphobic, and he's not. They're saying he made a racist joke in 2002, and we can't have him on the platform. He doesn't represent us. Spotify also allows this minstrel song, originally written in probably the late 1800s. The title of the song is Old Zip Coon in the Medley Reels. And the lyrics to the chorus, I don't know the verses, but I know the lyrics to the chorus are Old Zip Coon, Cooney on the Stump. It is a song about a black man sitting on a tree stump. This represents Spotify's values, though. This is cool. Joe Rogan, we're having an issue. They have never had a meeting about Old Zip Coon, Cooney on the Stump. So, I think we can tell where their loyalties lie. God forbid you make fun of a trans MMA fighter, but Old Zip Coon is protected by the First Amendment, I guess, at Spotify. It's really interesting the kind of standards that they have over there. I'm going to stop repeating the refrain because I might end up getting the song stuck in all of our heads, and then you're going to be walking around the supermarket and you're going to be singing it to yourself. And then you're going to get in a lot. Well, then again, maybe not if you're walking around the Melrose grocery store in Somerville. I'm more likely to get in trouble.
Stop right there. What are you singing, sir?
Don't say anything about Native Americans. That's a very sensitive subject in the great town of Melrose, Massachusetts. But enough esoteric references. We got breaking news just before this. I received word that celebrities have released a video of themselves naked telling you to vote via mail-in ballot. And then, plot twist, the video they released was on YouTube.com. So I think it goes without saying that they were not actually naked in the video. I mean, they are like, they have the appearance of being naked, but all the videos, if it's a man, it's from like, the belly button up, and if it's a woman, it's from like the collarbone up. Sarah Silverman, she went risque, and she's like holding her breasts in her hands, but that still doesn't really count. let's put it this way. You don't go around saying like, did you see that the celebrities are on? Chris Evans posted a photo of his cock on the internet 2 weeks ago. You can't go around saying that the celebrities are nude and that they're going to get us to vote because of their fucking nudity. They could easily have been wearing pants. Every single one of them was probably wearing pants. First of all, if you want me to vote with a mail-in ballot and you want to inspire Americans to vote with your nudity, quit the stolen valor pussy shit. You need Hog. You need Labe. I want to Hog and Labe. Hog and Labe. Dave. Hog and Labe. No Hog, no Labe. I'm just going to vote in person, and I'm going to cough on everyone in line because of you. I'm going to vote in person. I'm not going to vote for Trump. So, sorry. But I might vote third party. I was thinking about it. I was thinking about voting for Biden, and then you guys made this stupid nude video. No Hog, no Labe. You put it on YouTube. You should do like free OnlyFans or something. Put it on any website. Just make your own website, nakedcelebritiestellingyoutavote.com. Link to it on Twitter. You're allowed to post nudity on Twitter. You're like, that's never not been allowed. I scroll my feed, I see Hog and Labe every day. Sometimes I wish I didn't, because it's like someone being like, children are in cages at the border. And then it's like a comedian being like, the last time I had sex was during the Obama administration. And then the next post is just like a video of a girl getting fucked in the ass. But that's Twitter. It's the wild, wild west. You're allowed to do that. You could have put Hog and Labe on Twitter. Chris Evans did it on Instagram. But then and that's against the terms of use, but he did it by accident. But also, then where did everyone share the video that they screenshot? The picture that they screenshotted of Chris Evans? They shared it on Twitter because it's allowed. Although you're not allowed to hope that the president dies on Twitter, which is like a new policy that they just made up like the other day, and they tried to act like that was always the rule. Like incels and fucking neo-Nazis are like calling for like women and minorities to get killed publicly every day. But if I hope that Trump doesn't recover from a disease that might kill him, apparently I'm breaking the rules. Thankfully, they were kind of pussies about enforcing that one too. So we didn't need to worry about it too much. But, there's a loophole though. You can post the likelihood that Trump would die from COVID. However, it's a little unfortunate because it's actually not that great of a likelihood. It's actually pretty low. But doesn't mean we can dream. Pence will be president. He'll institute prima nocta or some weird shit that he's doing. By the way, tonight, it's going to be the next day by the time this is out, but the vice presidential debate is tonight.
Oh, is it?
And I can't think of a bigger waste of time than watching those two plasticky, weird career politicians argue with each other over what? Here's what's going to happen. Kamala's going to be like, we need to build a better America for Americans, all Americans. And then Pence is going to be like, what we believe in is protecting the Constitution and protecting our faith in God. And then somehow that's going to last 2 hours. Kamala's going to pretend that she didn't ever, ruin black families, put anyone in jail. That was her big thing during the debates, where she got 0% of the popular vote and then somehow ended up being the VP candidate. During the first round of debates, when people were yelling at each other because they put way too many fucking people at stage on the same time and then expected people to take it seriously. So naturally people were talking over each other, and then I don't know, somehow she managed to get a word, and she said, gentlemen, they don't want a food fight. They want to figure out how to put food on their table. I'm like, who's not putting food on the table? The dad who's in jail for truancy. You dumb bitch. I can't, they really don't deserve to win this one. Like, there's really nothing about what they've done. They had 4 years to figure it out, and they said, senile old guy who sniffs people on TV. No one's going to have a problem with that. Oh, his son used the vice presidency to become a millionaire and has a serious coke problem? Yeah, we're probably going to be able to sideswipe that one, right? Oh, let's put someone who's ruined more black families than like anyone else on the entire debate stage. Let's make her the running mate. No, but she is black, so I'm sure people won't look into it very much. It is a little sad that a lot of people just see the superficial qualities like, black woman. She's probably good for blacks and woman. Lifetime in jail for a nonviolent crime? What are you talking about? She slays queen! She slays queen! Yeah, she put you in jail. She's gonna put Trump in jail. You fucking... Actually, Trump's tax returns just came out, so it's possible that he is actually poor enough for Kamala to put him in jail, but I doubt it. I really doubt it. I really doubt it, folks. It's day 8 of Sober October for me right now, and Oh, those first few days sucked. I'm not gonna lie. I was smoking a lot of cigarettes and using my girlfriend's Juul whenever we hang out. And definitely like day 2 or 3, I started to get like the pins and needles of the nicotine withdrawal. It's hard when you quit booze and weed and cigarettes all at the same time, because then you just really get fucking. You start to feel weird shit, and you don't actually know which one is doing it to you, or if it's all 3. Like the first 2 days, I like could barely get to sleep at all. And I think that was the weed, that I was just like not smoking weed. All of a sudden, it's like I'm not like sedating myself every night. No booze thing, whatever. Sometimes I think like, oh, it's autumn. It'd be nice to sit on my porch and enjoy the brisk weather in a sweater and have a nice beer. I'll do that in November. It'll be fine. Hopefully, it won't be too cold. Definitely the nicotine thing, though, is a lot, where it's just like, oh, man, I just want to smoke. Fuck. And I think in like 3 or 4 days, I'm officially past like I probably already passed it now because I have a fast metabolism, but what they say is that a nicotine withdrawal occurs on day 6 to 11. So since I'm younger and have a faster metabolism, mine is probably closer to the 6 mark. But by day 11, it's like you're guaranteed. You're pretty much just detoxed from nicotine, which is showing. Yesterday, I went out for a run, and at the beginning of this quarantine, I was crushing 10-plus mile runs at like 7:45 a mile. And I managed to pull 10 miles yesterday, but it was not so fast. 8:49 a mile. Not my fastest time, folks. But I decided I wouldn't stress out about the pace. I was just going to take it easy. I feel like every time I go for a run, I'm trying to just like pull my anger and like really burn through my stress. And I said, how about this time, instead of trying to like burn through the stress, we just try to go for basically a jog. And, you know, for a lot of people, a jog is a lot slower than 8:49 a mile. But, you know, I've seen a few miles. So just basically, I went on the Esplanade, Boston, leaves are changing, city must smell, skyline, lights. The sun shines differently in the fall. It's almost like sunlight is a different color. It probably has something to do with the atmosphere, but it's really, really beautiful out there. So I was able to enjoy it. Except for after around mile 9, I got this incredible fucking blister. And I felt fine and then like around mile 9.5, I was like, oh shit, is someone sticking a knife into my Achilles? And no, just the shoe got a little warped out of proportion, and now I got a gigantic blister on the bottom of my foot. I won't show you guys because it's pretty disgusting. It's not really, I don't think you can call it a blister anymore. It's more like was a blister probably for an hour and then got completely ripped apart. So there's basically just a bunch of skin that fell off, and it's pretty raw. And then I jump into the shower, and as soon as I jump into the shower, you ever do that? You have like a blister or some kind of cut that you don't necessarily, it's not bothering you, but it's like open and fresh and you don't really notice it. And then as soon as you get in the shower, the water hits it and you're just like, fuck! Oh, Jesus Christ.
Where'd that come from?
That happens to me on my, like, excuse me for being crass. That happens to me on my butt crack a little bit sometimes after running because I get a little chafed. Like just in from like there's a little bit of hair on the inner part of the crack and it will chafe. Some parts of my butt crack are like super chafed and I don't even feel it. I don't even notice. And then as soon as I get in the shower, I'm just like, okay, I need a face front in the shower this time. I'm normally like a back facer in the shower. I know that this is a contentious debate. In movies, it seems that people in movies are always facing the faucet. Maybe it just works better for the shot. But I think in real life, more people are probably facing away. I mean, I rotate, but everyone rotates but has a primary direction. I mean, if you don't rotate, you're fucking disgusting because that means that part of your body is not being washed at all. But I don't know. What else we have? So, show Labe is the point here. Like, I'll tell you what. Fucking Mark Ruffalo, Sarah Silverman. Sarah Silverman was naked in this movie, so I guess I'll give her a bye. And I would name some of the other celebrities in that video, but the problem is I have no idea who the fuck any of them are. It's like all these celebrities who they're trying to like, it's like Sarah Silverman, Mark Ruffalo, person you've never heard of, but we're gonna, kind of force them in your face. We're putting them on the same stage, so now you feel bad for not knowing about them, and now you have to like quickly Google who they are and act like you already knew about them. So I don't even know. I'm sure there was some people who like I'm forgetting that I actually do know, and I didn't watch the entire video. As soon as I realized there was no Labe, no Hog, I checked out because honestly, I think that's how you should do it in America. Roy Stella says fire.
Didn't Zooey Deschanel do one? Or
this was like just like earlier today, I think. Hold on, let's pull it up. Let's see if we can do some research here. I said we got a black woman, Amy Schumer, a guy that I don't know, Sarah Silverman, Borat, but he's wearing his clothes as a joke, Mark Ruffalo again, Sarah Silverman again. Her breasts look amazing, though. A woman, I don't know who she is. Oh, it's giving them labels. Borat. Okay, hold on. So we're giving labels. Mark Ruffalo. I didn't realize there was a label in the corner of who everyone is. No shit, they have to put a label. You never even heard of half these fucking people. Chelsea Handler, who is not aged well. What the hell is going on with Chelsea Handler's face? I don't even recognize her. She must be getting work done. Okay, so Chelsea Handler, one of the most obnoxious people alive. A woman named Ryan Bath. Not even going to try to figure that one out. Sarah Silverman again. They know that these are low-tier celebrities because they keep going back. Sarah Silverman's dad, Ryan Bath again. Okay, I'm not going to... Stop trying to act like Chris Rock, who's wearing thick glasses. And again, all these people clearly could just be wearing pants. Who's that? Josh Gad? Oh, he looks fucking Samoan in this.
Who the fuck is Josh Gad?
Josh Gad. He was in... he's the voice of the snowman in Frozen, but he was in the Book of Mormon, the play. And he's been in a bunch of stuff. Naomi Campbell. Okay, yeah. Well, you know, that would have been cool in 2002, but it's... You got the numbers backwards, I guess, the last two of them. Chelsea Handler again. Wait, hold on. Did we actually... Was there a quick... Let me see. Shut up, Borat. Number 2, Pennsylvania. Shut up, Naomi. Your face is puffy. We can all tell that you've gotten work done, Chelsea, Naomi. And, oh, no. Chelsea did this weird move that made it look like she might have been flashing us, but that was an optical illusion. They had to keep it YouTube friendly. They didn't want to get they didn't want to get demonetized for their public service announcement. Fucking hypocrites. Ryan Bath again. No one knows who that is. Tiffany Haddish. I know the name, but I don't really know who it is. Is it a rapper? I don't know. Amy Schumer. Was it racist that I assumed the black woman was... Who's Tiffany Haddish? Do you know?
Tiffany Haddish? No clue.
I've heard the name, but I don't know who it is. Oh, Sarah Silverman drops her hands and then they blur it out. See, cowards. You're not on my you're blurring out Sarah Silverman's breasts and not even like just the nipple. They're doing like all the entire chest area. You're not showing hog. You're not showing. They didn't even get close to like at least with the Sarah Silverman, they like almost showed her breasts. They didn't get close to showing any hog. All of the men were just filmed from like the chest up. Most of the women were filmed from the collarbone up. They're cowards. If you can't be honest with us about your hog and your labe, how the hell are we supposed to take you seriously and trust this new mail-in ballot voting system? It's just, I don't trust this. I don't trust America. I'm not patriotic. I think it's crazy that people are like, whenever like an American guy, like the Nobel Prize, like, oh, an American won it, but you don't know it. Like, what if they're like on the Nobel Prize stage? They're like, all right, the Nobel Science Award goes to an American scientist. He's developed some great ways to minimize your screen time. I know a lot of you guys have been having too much screen time lately, and he supports the U.S. Postal Service. So please correct me if I'm saying this wrong, Mr. Theodore Kaczynski? See, an American scientist. Aren't we glad an American scientist won? We love our American athletes, O.J. Simpson, Tim Tebow, Aaron Hernandez. One of those guys is not a murderer, but he may as well be because he's fucking creepy and I don't like him.
Vic.
Michael Vick, yeah. I mean, Michael Vick, he really only hurt dogs, which... Are we going to indict the entire country of China now, too? Let's relax.
Well, allegedly, Vic never participated. There's this whole documentary saying that, Vic had the dog fights. He never actually participated.
So he never, he hosted dog fights? He, provided a safe space for dog fights?
Essentially, yes. So he actually never touched a dog, quote unquote, but I wasn't there, so who knows?
So he's kind of like the mom in high school who's cool with people drinking in the basement as long as no one drives.
Pretty much.
But she's not buying anyone booze, and she's not, she's not taking shots with the kids. She's just, making sure everyone's having a good time.
Yeah, so
honestly, Michael Vick, maybe we owe him an apology. I don't know. I don't care. I never felt really that strongly about it either way. Sure. I apologize to Michael Vick. I don't think I ever said anything bad about you myself. But I apologize on behalf of, without the consent of those who did, I apologize on their behalf. So you're forgiven. Anyways, oh yeah, well, like in San Francisco, I was wearing this hat last week when I did the shows. I have like this cock hat, which is a chicken hat. And there was a shirt, and I bought it. It's one of those gift shops where there's just like way too much shit, and it's not organized at all. It's just like overstuffed shelves of like, it's like, how did you even get this inventory? It was just a ridiculous tourist shop where like nothing is organized. It's just overflowing. No one there spoke English, so you couldn't ask them any questions. And I saw this cock hat that was literally $3.50. And now I've had it for over 6 months. It's one of my favorite hats. And like when people ask like, what's the story behind that hat? Roast beef. I can tell them how I got the hat and the story about the store. But the truth is, I have no idea what the meaning of the hat is, other than there was a t-shirt in the shop that had the exact same logo, and it was just labeled cockfight. So I'm pretty sure that this neighborhood has like a shitload of underground cockfights going on. I'm not, and look, I'm not being, he's assuming that it would be a heavily Hispanic pub. I was like, I'm assuming it because they're selling cockfight shirts. I had to get ahead of that one. No, whatever. What else? I got notes. I got some cool stuff. I guess I'll just say my buddy AJ picked me up today, and we went to one of the finest establishments on the North Shore of Massachusetts, Athens Roast Beef. Let's give it up for Athens Roast Beef, Peabody. They're not sponsoring the show, but they have one of the best. Goddamn, there's a lot now. If you're not from Massachusetts, you don't know that there's just a fuckload of places that are. It's either pizza and roast beef or roast beef and seafood, and it sounds like, oh, roast beef, that's gross. I've explained this on the show, like roast beef, that's like a gross leathery deli meat. They cut it right off the rump, right there, made to order. Delicious James River sauce, which I think comes from Virginia. It's just a staple. It's like a steak and cheese, but way better. Trust me. You ever in Massachusetts, drive about 30 minutes north of Boston, you will find yourself a good roast beef. Don't go to Kelly's. That's for bitches. Don't go to Mike's in Everett. That place sucks. It's all these like Everett townies. Like, you can't talk shit about my Everett place, dude. No, it's not good. Got to go to Peabody. Got to go to Salem. Not even Salem. There's really not that many good places. You got to go to Peabody.
Billy's was okay.
Billy's is pretty subpar compared to some of the heavy hitters on the North Shore, though. There's a new place in Saugus, Angelo's. It's actually pretty good. They got the flavor down. Granted, the last time I went to Billy's was like they were closed for quarantine for a bit, and they had just reopened, and I think they were finding their footing because it was pretty disappointing. But I've talked about roast beefs enough on previous episodes of this show. If you either know or you don't know. But yeah, get yourself a nice. I had a delicious. Oh boy, I needed that. That was my phone says, and I have no idea how accurate this is because you can't trust machines these days, but my phone says I burned 1,200 calories running yesterday, which I assume that roast beef sandwich I just had was pretty close. And I still have, you can't see it on the audio, so I'll just crinkle the paper to the mic. I still have a spinach roll that I couldn't eat because I was too stuffed, because I got a super, and I usually get a junior. All right, let's see what we got here. I get my sober. Right. All right. Well, last weekend, Sam Morrill, pretty good comic. Everyone likes him. That's not true, but he's well liked. He's been on Comedy Central. He's been around the block. He's a funny guy. He was in the Joker movie, briefly. A little brief cameo in the Joker movie. Funny guy. Him and Gary Goldman, little cameos, which was good for him. So me and my girlfriend decided to go see him. Neither of us have a car, so we rented a car. And we asked for a 4-door sedan, because that's just normally what you ask for when you're in a car, unless you're helping someone move. They gave us a Toyota Tacoma. And I fucking hate driving trucks, especially in Worcester, which is where the show was. So I had to drive it through Boston, on the Pike, all the way to Worcester. Jesus, so I was already stressed out as fuck when I got there. And it was like, I think that was like, at that point, it was like day 2 or day 3 of Sober October. So I was like in like full edgy mode. On the edge. Animals on the edge. Edge of extinction. So then we get there, and we had purchased tickets. Now, normally when you're a comedian, you can kind of just show up to a show and hang out in the back, and no one will give you shit. But we wanted to be able to sit down and like order food at the club, maybe order drinks. Well, she wanted to order a drink. So we actually purchased tickets. I just blew the mystique off this whole comedians hanging out in the back without paying thing. I'm going to get in trouble for that. The fucking powers that be are going to strike me down. Anyway, fuck you.
I can cut it out, don't worry.
No, you don't have to cut it out. You want to go to a comedy show for free, you fucking do open mics for 6 months and tell me that was a fucking walk-on. You piece of shit.
Smoking cigarettes in the back with comedians.
Yeah, I mean, generally. I wasn't smoking cigarettes because Sober October, strict cigarette ban, strict weed ban, strict alcohol ban. And weeds both in any capacity. That includes edibles. So anyways, hey, are you drinking a cherry Coke, though? That doesn't sound like sober. Shut the fuck up, you Mormon weirdo. I want to drink coffee.
It's magic, just like your underpants.
Go read your binder full of woman, you fucking cock. Oh, Jesus was in America. I'm gonna judge people for drinking fucking the most popular drink in the entire fucking world. Shut up. All right, so we go to see. So then the lady who's sitting people says that it's she's not sitting people yet because they're still getting organized. So I say, okay. So I'm like, let's sneak back. Let's get a selfie. Dina Hashem is opening for him. She's also just a very hilarious comic. So we're excited to see both of them. And my girlfriend especially likes Dina. So we sneak back there. We do a quick introduction. We take a selfie, the four of us. And, we could kind of just tell that they didn't want to talk to us very much. So we kind of fuck off. And I was like, okay, that's great. So then we run into a comedian that I know on the way back to the front because we snuck in the back and then we went back out to enter the club the proper way. And then by the time we get up to the front, the lady goes, "Oh, the show already started. I thought you guys had left." And then so she comes back and then the guy who's seating us, who's a comedian I know, he goes "Well, the only seat left is the back table. So now I got to go kick Sam out of his seat so I can sit you guys down." I was like, "You can't do that. Wait, no. We were literally just talking to the guy 5 seconds ago, and now you're going to go kick him out of his chair so that we can sit in his chair, all look like the biggest fucking asshole. I'd rather stand." So then he does do that anyway, and then we're sitting there, and I'm just I kind of just look at him and say, "Hey, man, we didn't want them to kick you out of your chair so we could sit here." And then he said, "Don't worry about it. I don't give a shit." That's my impression of him. I mean, I can do it better. "Don't worry about it. I don't give a shit." That's what he said. You know Sam Morril? You ever listen to his bits?
Sam Morril. I've seen once in Joey Diaz.
Oh yeah, he's definitely done the whole podcast circuit and stuff.
I think Joey Diaz is the better comedian podcast out there.
I've only listened to it when I don't listen to it religiously. I listen to it when someone who I like is a guest. So I've listened to it I think twice, maybe more than that. I know I've listened to the Scholes episode and I've listened to the Tim Dillon episode. Anyways, so now I feel awkward, but then they pull up a different table that's all the way over to the left side of the club, and it's you guys can go sit up there if you feel awkward, because they knew that I felt uncomfortable. So we just scamper up there. The problem is this is all the way over to the fucking left side, so all the servers and stuff and people leaving to go to the bathroom are literally brushing by us every 5 seconds, but it's whatever. And then after the show, Sam walked right by me and I said, "Great stuff tonight." I tried to say it loud so he would hear it through my mask, and he just kept staring forward. I was like, "Okay, well that was embarrassing. I'm gonna go crash this Toyota Tacoma into a pole and end this nightmare," but I didn't do it. I made it home safe, and I was very embarrassed. So hopefully... And that's one of those things where someone's like, "Oh, you should listen to him on podcasts and see if he talks about you." And I'm like, actually, I don't want to do that because it would really be embarrassing for me if he did. But then also if I did and then he didn't talk about me, I'd be a little bit pissed that I didn't come up. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that at all. Whatever. Comedy's a little strange. Boy, we saw The Late Show. So The Late Show, Worcester, Saturday night. It was definitely getting a little cold. They don't have any heat lamps in there. It is a great setup, and it's a beer garden. I think it's a Wormtown beer garden. So they got a great selection of craft beers, decent food options for sure, especially by comedy club standards, and it's nice. So yeah, go out there and support that. It's a John Tobin joint. He kind of runs a lot of the stuff around Boston, Massachusetts in general. But, it's weird. So this happened the other day. Comedy Central posted a video, and the caption is, "When they release the tax returns." And then it's a video of Mia Khalifa twerking. Not well, either. She's, doing a very, white girl twerk. And she's in pajamas, either. So that's, not really an outfit that accentuates the curve of the twerker. So like Andrew Schulz had a little fun jab where he shared it, and he was like, "This used to be the network that elevated like Chris Rock and so and so." Here's the thing, and they also said like 1 RT equals more videos of Mia Khalifa twerking, which doesn't even make any, like 1 RT is supposed to equal one thing, whatever. And they were like, "We're gonna be doing more with her." I'm like, hey, you realize that if I was thought that Mia Khalifa was a pretty lady, I could pull up a video of her getting fucked in the ass in like 5 seconds. You know, there's like videos of her eating another girl out or getting eaten out by a girl, eating a girl out while she gets fucked from behind. There's a lot of options there other than like a shitty bad political take. When they release the tax returns, she's twerking in front. That's great. I'm glad that she is having a comfortable. I can't stand that girl because she's now doing this thing where she plays like, I made mistakes when I was 21 and I got a fatwa against me, and yeah, that's fucked up. Like, you know, she also like made the video of herself getting fucked in a hijab, didn't think twice, and then when people questioned her about it, she was like, I don't give a fuck about no fucking Ayatollah, fuck you. And she's like, I'm so sympathetic. People can't separate me from a mistake I made when I was 21. Bitch, you still use your porn name. You have a real name. If you wanted to separate yourself from the porn star, you would use your fucking real name. You're using your fake name that you made up for porn. Am I crazy? Her net worth is like $5 million, by the way. Like, let's talk about the girls who fucking are enticed into doing porn and then like actually don't ever make money and end up on the street. Let's not talk about the girl who somehow turned it all around and was able to just do cringy twerk videos, you know, because we found out that Trump's not a millionaire, which we already knew, or billionaire, whatever. Who gives a fuck? Hopefully he does die, just because I would love to see the people who are so fervently in his favor be sad, and then I would love to kick them while they're down. And you may say that's immature or cold. I don't care, because these are the same people who say, like, George Floyd would still be alive if he didn't do drugs, probably. So, you know, whatever. You get to get kicked while you're down. I mean, you worshipped a geriatric billionaire. You're kind of pretty weird yourself. Boy, is Hope Hicks fucking hot, though. I think I don't want to visualize it, because it is a disgusting image, but I think they might have been, you know, I think they might have been smashing, guys. There's that one picture where she's holding his hand and he looks like a fucking kid on Christmas morning, and probably the only time he ever got that mushroom to pop out of its shell in the past 5 years, because, you know, Melania won't touch him. It's a miracle that she even managed to get COVID from him, but fuck. Because, you know, Trump, he's so dumb that the person who's the president is essentially the person who has his favor most. So Jared Kushner, you know, he was kind of riding the wave for a while, but he fucked up with COVID and made Trump look bad, and now he's out of favor. But who's going to have Trump favor more than just like a smoking hot 31-year-old press secretary who just services his crank well? Like, I think she knows what she's doing. And she kind of already has a weird porn star name. She's like, I could imagine that casting couch. Like, I'm Hope Hicks. I'm from Savannah, Georgia. My dream one day is to work with the President of the United States. But for now, I'm gonna do anything to make that happen. I don't actually know what her voice sounds like. I assume she doesn't have a hilariously cartoonish accent like the one I just did. But maybe, I don't know. I just see her in photos. She's got nice eyebrows. And, you know, among other things, of course. Actually, when I first heard that someone named Hope Hicks was sick, I actually didn't even know who the fuck she was. And I was just like, some old Republican bag. And I was like, and then people were like, Hope Hicks was banging Trump. And I'm like, no, that's such a disgusting image. And then I'm like, well, strategically, if you want to solidify your power, that's definitely a move, albeit degrading.
So
whatever.
I've seen this internet thread when she first became, like, White House press secretary. People are like, oh, she's kind of cute. And then someone posted a picture of Trump. It's like, she probably prefers that big Christian cock. Sorry, guys. Because everyone online is an atheist.
Most people, well, I don't know. You get into circles of Twitter where people are like, I like Trump because he protects Jesus.
I'm talking about like the 4chan Reddit
Oh yeah, no, I'm a I can't.
I'm an atheist and I wear fedora.
Twitter is bad enough without getting into those weeds. Reddit, I'll go on when it's like I have a question and the only like answer is like fucking ask historians or ask scientists on Reddit. But no one's really are people even verifying that some of these people are? Normally they cite sources, which is good, so I guess that is helpful. But I feel like it is pretty easy to lie on Reddit and still be like taken seriously. So, I know I'm not a fucking genius for making that observation, obviously, but all right, Roald Dahl. Oh yeah, so I had a job interview last Thursday, and I kind of thought I would have heard back with a decision by now, which is getting me worried. But so this job, I actually had a phone call about it right after I left the studio last week. So the CEO of this company has a policy where he wants to meet with, he wants to do a Zoom call with every person who's interviewing. So that, I don't want there to be anyone at the company who I haven't had a conversation with. So we just talked, the beginning of the call, we just talked about like why I was interested in the company, all sorts of kind of, run-of-the-mill boilerplate HR type stuff. And then he just asked me like what I do, what my hobbies are. And I talked about like comedy, and he's like, well, how are you doing comedy, when all the venues are closed? And I mentioned I'm just trying to be funny on Twitter and make a few videos. And I idiotically mentioned the podcast. And then he had a bunch of questions about the podcast. And then he's like, well, Kevin, I hope we get to work together soon. And I kind of want to listen to your podcast now. And I was like, that's great. I hope he doesn't look at the podcast. The last episode, which will literally, if he looks at the podcast, the first episode he saw, I say the word retard within the first 5 seconds. So that one might be a misfire on my part, gotta be honest. I'm just hoping that he was being nice and that he's a CEO who, honestly, if he listens to my podcast, I'm like, this guy's the CEO and he has time to listen to my podcast. And I was like, what kind of fucking company are he running here? So I'm, all these mental gymnastics that I have to go to kind of work it out. But yeah, I really hope he doesn't listen to this. I don't know. I'm canceled, whatever.
Reminds me, I had a hide my vision.
Cooney on the stump.
What?
I said Zip Cooney on the stump. I really am going to get in trouble for saying that. That's going to be the thing where I get like a fucking someday, years from now, I get some dream job and then some like fucking emaciated piece of shit with blue hair who's like, this guy ironically said Zip Cooney on the stump. Whatever. You said it, Spotify. Your move. I am just reporting it because apparently no one is as outraged about this as I am. So, your move, Spotify. I'm on your platform. So now it's actually on your platform twice, like from originally when you said it, and now again from when I said it, because I am also on your platform. Some of you may be listening to this. It's weird. I look at the stats. Most of the people who listen to this listen on like the Libsyn web player.
What?
Like the service I use, which I didn't even know was like a thing people listen to. It's just a service where you upload it and it distributes it to all the major podcasts networks. And my stats say that most of the people who listen to it listen on the Libsyn player, which doesn't. But then it says like 0 for Apple, which I know is not true because I know like 1 or 2 people has told me that they listen only via Apple. So I don't really know what the stats are. But that basically means that people are going to like libsyn.com and like browsing their libraries and listening via that, which I don't really think anyone does. So it's very confusing.
Russian bots at their finest.
Could be bots. I mean, Iraqi bots. We have a couple of listeners in Russia. I actually gave it the rundown. I should have written it down. There's a couple in Mexico, a couple in Canada, a few hundred. And this is lifetime listens, by the way. This isn't like any episode. This podcast is not picking up that much steam. But we're having fun doing it, and we'll get there eventually.
Steady content.
Here's a question about cancel culture. So there's a new movie coming out called The Witches with Chris Rock as like the narrator, and I'm going to fuck up the name of the woman who's in it. Anne Hathaway is in it, and then no, I just need to look it up, The Witches, because I don't want to fucking... If it was a white woman, I wouldn't give a shit, because it's a black woman. If I say it wrong, then I look racist, so... The Witches, fucking... No, not 1990. Witches... 2020 film. All right, who is it? Octavia Spencer. I almost said Angela Bassett. That's why I didn't want to get in trouble. So it's a good thing I checked. Oh, Stanley Tucci. Okay. So, J.K. Rowling. So this movie, The Witches, is based on a Roald Dahl book. So J.K. Rowling tweets about trans bathroom policy and workplace stuff. She's canceled. Harry Potter's good. And now all these fucking pieces of shit who want to be trendy are saying that, I never liked Harry Potter, which they did. They just, no one can just fucking be on it. Everyone wants to meet the moment and then just lie. Meet the moment basically is just code for fucking lie to look cool now. That's all that means. So yeah, Harry Potter's done. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. We found them. They're, at a Klan rally. J.K. Rowling is canceled. That's where you find. She is the Fantastic Beast. She fucking spoke at the Proud Boys and, told them that they were doing a great job. Now, Roald Dahl, on the other hand, his last words were, "Please don't take me to a Jewish doctor." Paraphrasing here, of course, but it was something along those lines. And his movies still get adapted into films with Academy Award-winning Anne Hathaway, Octavia Spencer, and Stanley Tucci. And Chris Rock, one of the most famous comedians of all time, is attached. And I guess they think that, ha, Roald Dahl, we're going to take your racist book and we're going to make it have black people in it. I was like, yeah, or you could just make an original idea. No one remembers this book. This was not one of his hits. It was not Matilda, and it was not The Chocolate Factory, and it was not the BFG, which apparently that BFG movie just was a stinker. I didn't see it. But, why are we canceling J.K. Rowling for tweeting a bunch of bullshit that is, a fairly more modern and nuanced subject? Now, granted, I don't necessarily agree with everything she says, but fairly more modern, fairly more nuanced. But it's this guy who is outspokenly anti-Semitic, we'll just keep adapting his shit. Who cares? We'll attach, some of the biggest, most sought-after talent to the project. And people, but they're sticking it to him. They're sticking it to him by putting minorities. I'm I don't know. I mean, not really. You're keeping, the credits are going to be, based on Roald Dahl. And little kid, Roald Dahl, maybe we should read his other books. He's inspired by Mein Kampf. Apparently, he only became anti-Semitic when he was senile, and he didn't really have a problem with the Jews for most of his life. I don't know.
Now, who's more edgy, him or Lovecraft? Because I heard Lovecraft was pretty racist.
I think Lovecraft was just legit racist, though. Fucking senility excuse. His cat's name was N-word boy. Literally, the name of his cat was N-word boy. So I don't even know how you can. There's no two ways to skin that cat. Pretty sure he was just a huge racist and just happened to have a great talent for creating some really awesome lore. I mean, that song I was singing, I'm not going to say it again because I'm really flying too close to the sun with this one. But that song I kept singing, pretty catchy beat. And now, that beat is carried over. And now you hear it on ice cream trucks and, as the nursery rhyme. Do your ears hang low? Do they wobble to the flow? No, every time you ever hear it, do your ears hang low? Do they wobble to the flow? Can you time in a knot? Can you turn it in it? You'll know that it's the original lyrics was actually on the stump. Hold on the stump. You know what it really is. Remember when we were in 7th grade and then it was, do your chain hang low? Do it wobble to the floor? It's tying in the knot. Is it platinum? Is it gold? If you throw it over your shoulder, if you're hot, it make you cold. Do your chain hang low? And then all these white suburban kids, Melrose, they're do your chain hang low? And then they would make that's what she said jokes that weren't appropriate to the context of it. That's what she said. So it'd be I'm hungry. What are they serving for lunch today? That's what she said. I'd be you're 13. I don't think you understand this format very well.
That was a typical middle school thing, though. You're yay, I'm old enough to use adult words, but correctly. I don't know how to use them.
I thought that cunt meant penis for a year and a half, and I was just going around slinging it around when referring to penises until a very confusing conversation ended up getting me corrected.
Reminds me how I would say pussy, but I never knew what it meant. You're fucking pussy, Dale.
Pussy. Oh. I remember one time a kid straight up in 7th grade, there was it was a video that was viral, which was not viral, but popular, that people watched. And then...
Was this Grandma's Kisses?
No, I vaguely remember that one. It was, so do you remember Shoes? It wasn't Shoes, but it was a different, lesser-known video that guy made on his channel. The guy who made Shoes, yeah. Liam Kyle Sullivan. So, they, this kid was like, "Oh, I watched that on video. Like that was nice." And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "That was really funny. What's a pussy?" And I was like, "I don't think you really understood the jokes in the video. If you the plot is central to knowing what the word pussy means is really central to understanding any of the jokes of that video, particularly." Let's see. Trump's sick. Hope he dies. I know some people might say like, America, it's best for America to not have a dead president. I'm like, they'll swear in Pence, it'll be fine. They'll botch the election. We'll abide Joe Biden for 4 years. Yeah.
I'm on team fuck everyone.
You want Kamala to put people in jail? Imagine how many poor people people like, "Yo, Kamala puts people in jail. Well, we need a cop to stick it to those billionaires." I'm like, yes, that's cops historically. They've really taken down the wealthy and powerful. That's definitely what cops do. Their MO has nothing to do with only oppressing the unoppressed. Yeah, no, it's kind of the whole cop thing falls apart when someone just has enough money to pay to not get arrested. It's kind of the situation we're in. Ernie Boch Jr., everything you're looking for, come on down. I would love to buy a Subaru, really thinking about buying a Subaru, but it turns out every time, no matter where you go in New England, if you buy a Subaru new, Ernie Boch Jr. is getting a cut. Now, here's what Ernie Boch Jr. said when he was talking about his support for Trump. He said, and I'll try to do my best impression of him because he's definitely quite a character. He looks like Weird Al Yankovic if Weird Al Yankovic like did bath salts instead of getting addicted to Nesquik. That's like literally what it looks like if you pull up a fucking photo of Ernie Boch Jr. He said, "It's 2 a.m. and there's a few girls at the bar and you know you gotta go home with one of them. So you have to pick which inebriated girl you're going with." So basically what he said was that his support for Trump is about date raping the most attractive girl at the bar. That's his. He's like, when I'm trying to date rape a girl at a bar, I'd rather date rape Mr. Trump. You're telling me you want to date rape Marco Rubio? Oh, this was in 2016. But yeah, so that's what we're dealing with here in New England. And it's also like, I could drive to New York State and buy a Subaru there, but do you really think the Subaru guy in New York State is like somehow better? I don't know. It's kind of a long drive for a roll of the die there. Maybe I'll just get but I think Boch Toyota too. Like I don't even necessarily know if you can win with this one. And then Herb Chambers, he's a huge piece of shit. I can't stand that guy either. I don't know if he compared voting for president to date raping the most attractive girl at a bar, but he's definitely, I hate his billboards. They're like, "I've never sold anyone a car because I didn't have to. Herb Chambers, we got it." And then now during the pandemic, it's like, "Thanks to those risking their lives to save ours." Herb Chambers? What does that even have to do with buying a car? Virtue signaling piece of shit. You know this guy literally wakes up every Monday morning, takes a helicopter from his mansion in Connecticut to his office in Somerville, stays in one of the nicest hotels in Boston during the week, and then Friday night he just flies home.
What do you mean you don't fly into work?
Yeah, I know. What do you mean? It's like, where do I want to stay? Do I want the mansion or do I want the Park Plaza Hotel? Jesus Christ.
I don't
really, that's just one of those guys is like, do I really want to buy a Mazda or whatever does he only sell Mazdas? Like I don't know anyone who even drives a Mazda. I'm not sure who's buying these Mazdas. I think he has a Mercedes, which is like the nice one. He has a Mercedes, which I'm sure a good amount of people buy, but Subaru is insanely common in New England. Ernie Boch just cakes there. All right, whatever. Oh, yeah, and now the California Board of Health. People need to stop giving their opponents ammunition to make fun of them. And, obviously they're always going to make fun of you, like Tommy Loren, or, that's a whole different thing. Tommy Loren is not a real person. She's like an actress playing a character that was created by a marketing team. People think that there's literally like the woman who you see in Tommy Loren's videos is literally sitting in her like colorless kitchen hunched over her phone like, this one's going to get the libs. I was like, no. There's a fucking team. There's checks and balances there. They have a brand. The brand is triggering the libs, and they have professional writers who figure out what will trigger the libs. So she said Joe Biden, she called him a faggot or something for wearing a mask. Or she, the character Tommy Loren. And then people are like, Tommy Loren, stop dignifying it. Like, stop. We gotta quit with that. Literally, everyone forgets about the time that the actress who played Tommy Loren went on The View and gave a legitimate opinion of her own that was not in line with the brand that Fox had created for her, and then she got suspended. Like, everyone forgets about that. Like, that was like definitive proof that it's not a real person, that it's like a media phantasm that happens to be, you know, an actress who they gave ample amounts of plastic surgery to. If you see, like, they went like nose, lips, cheeks. Somehow they made her forehead shorter. No idea how you even fucking do that, but they figured it out.
She has like the Kardashian lips going on.
They gave her, they gave her the Chloe treatment or whatever. I didn't keep up. I know one of them, they just like literally took a knife, cut the face up completely, and then reconstructed it. And, you know, they just Frankenstein the fuck out of her face and, you know, photoshopped out the scars. That would be funny. You think that Kardashian girl, when she's not, this occurred to me. Do you think when she's not wearing makeup, she literally has like a patchwork face because of all the fucking work they did?
Oh, it's like fucking Frankenstein, I bet.
And then she just has to wear caked makeup to cover up all these ridiculous scars that she has from when they literally, because it's not the same face. Like, they had to have cut into the bone or something.
She was 16 when she got it too, so imagine.
No. I'm talking about the one who was like ugly last year and then is like now like just unrecognizable
Chloe?
Completely. Yeah.
Oh no, I seen her without makeup. She looks fucking. Ugh, it's like a fucking.
Well, no, I mean, I think now that she's had these intensive surgeries, I don't even know if you're allowed to see her without. I don't even know if she can be photographed without makeup because she might have like huge scars from when they just fucking cut straight down her face. Anyways, World Trade Center. Oh, I lost my train of thought. Actually, we'll go back to that. I was talking about the social distancing, folks. So the California Board of Health tweets, if you're going out to a restaurant, make sure to wear your mask in between bites. And it's like, come on. A, unreasonable. B, why would you give, now the fucking right is going to be like, look at these libs in California, which is exactly what they did. They like, that's how I found out about it. It was from some shitty right-wing account being like, of course the libs in California want you to be like, mask, bite. And like, maybe that's not what they meant, but what I just said is literally how they phrased it. So they made no effort to be like, if you're taking a break from your food, put your mask back on. Maybe it might have been a, like, in between bites. That, like, implies some sort of psychotic, like, oh, yeah. So you're giving them ammunition, which sucks. And, you know, but you can get over, like, you know, knowing if you're already not, like, into these weird conservative personalities, it's probably not that big of a deal. But then it also gives ammunition to like overly cunty people on the left. Like, I'm talking like emaciated, pale skin, pink hair. You know what I'm talking about? Skinny fat. You know, skinny fat. I'm actually getting a little skinny fat. Can't be talking shit. But like the kind of people who just kind of wanted an excuse to yell at you so that they can show how woke and entitled they are. So now you're just giving them this. You're saying, oh yeah, the new science is that you need to wear your mask in between bites. So feel free to just fucking unload on someone who's, you know, unbuckling their belt halfway through their meal and didn't think to put their mask back on for that fucking 15-second interval.
Jesus Christ, he could have killed me.
I know. All these people, they'll walk right up to people and scream at them. It's like, hey man, if you just stayed 6 feet away, maybe you wouldn't have shit to worry about. They don't care. They don't care about the pandemic. They don't care about the virus. They're just like, okay, great. We have an excuse to be hostile in public. Let's use it. Especially like if, like, for instance, I happen to be like a white man and they're like, boy, I want to yell at a white man. And it's like, white man who's not wearing a mask. I actually can't even feel it because of the headphones, but I got this thing. Haha, you'll see that in the video later, or you won't.
Did you see that video of the Chinese mask just like that? They tear them open. It's like the little, like plastic disc tracker.
Plastic disc?
No, because we got like several million of those masks from China.
Yes.
And there's a video of a guy tearing one of them open, and there's literally a tracking device inside the mask.
Oh, wow.
Like a soft plastic disc.
Now I'm just going to feel mine. Yeah, I think I'm good. Well, you know what's crazy is that I bought 50 for $25, and then I went like a few months ago, and then I went on Amazon to reorder because I was running out. And then I hit order again. And it said like you can't do that. And then I searched the name of the product again, and the same brand of mask was 50 for $9. So like the mass production of mask, tongue twister, that has ramped up so fucking much that now it's less than 50% of the price that it was 2 months ago, and the same brand, same quality, everything, which is nuts. Oh, we don't know if it's the same quality yet. We haven't gotten there yet.
My Friday 13th Mass is supposed to come any day now.
Oh, okay.
They said between September 30th and October 13th. So I have a strong feeling it might be on the 13th.
I haven't really ironed out my Halloween costume yet. One thing I really love about COVID is that we can still have the fun of dressing up for Halloween with none of the pressure of doing something loud, obnoxious, and not that fun. So by the way, if you're not clear, my Sober October, I started September 30th, so I'm a day early. And that means that on Halloween, I get to, smoke crystal meth and, bang prostitute, kill myself, get resurrected in seance. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Just dress up as Joker for Halloween.
No,
Just say you're off your medication for Sober October and you're having a little bad day.
Having a bad day? Nah, Joker's too cliche. There's still, even this year, there will be too many Jokers. There's always been too many Jokers on Halloween.
Yeah, there is.
It's one of those things where, like, unless you're going to full commit and have a really, really good Joker costume, it's not worth half-assing because it's just, like, too common of an outfit. But I think me and my girlfriend are going to do Thor and Loki since she has long black hair. I'm going to work around that. Kind of my hair color and length is about in the later movies where Thor gets, like, a haircut. Kind of around there. So I'll just rock the short hair Thor look. Maybe try to do more curls because I do not have the arms for it, really.
Protein shakes and protein shakes.
Yeah, I don't know. I only have 23 days, so we'll see. I don't know. Maybe I can get industry secrets on how to bulk up from Claudia Conway on TikTok. I love this. It's oh my God, Claudia Conway is our one true source of information. How about we relax with believing everything that a 15-year-old girl says, though, maybe, Like, I get that we want bad things to happen to the royal family of America, but let's not fucking pretend that a 15-year-old girl on TikTok is a trustworthy source. She's 15. I'm pretty sure when I was 15, we were driving around in a car. One of the people was a year older. And the girl in the back, she was also 15. She said, how come it's so cold in the back? And they said, because they can't pipe the heating to the back of the car because that's where the engine is and the car might explode. And she said, oh, really? That's very interesting. She believed it fully. So I don't understand why we're now all of a sudden like, a 15-year-old girl, like, when I was 15, if I heard my parents having like a minor argument in the next room, I was like, they're getting divorced. Who knows what the fuck she heard Kellyanne Conway say that she now fucking thinks means that Trump's about to die. Like, I get it. Like, let's wait for the facts. Let's not act like a 15-year-old girl who heard her parents talking about something in the other room knows what the fuck is up. Oh, no, but she's got a great following on TikTok. It is hilarious that she's verified on TikTok. Like, I think that really shows the difference between the TikTok platform that differentiates itself. It's like, we are verifying children. And now, like, Neil Brennan made a weird joke about how she should start an OnlyFans for Intel. And, that's inappropriate. Really. I mean, I get it. He's not talking about sexual, but he seems to be getting very close to, like, condoning pedophilia without really going over that line. Looking at you, Neil. Let's clean up the act. I like his comedy, though. He's got some real on point. He's one of those guys who I describe as having his finger on the pulse. When he's on about certain subjects. But, boy, was that risky business.
Just under 1 hour.
Is it raining?
Yeah, looks like it's raining outside.
One whore. It's more like it. One whore. Hope Hicks. No, she's not a whore. She's a nice lady who just happens to believe that life starts at conception and has sex with weird troll people. For political power. You're not a whore if you do it for political power. You're not even really a whore if you do it for money. Because, in this economy? In this economy?
But isn't that definition of a whore someone who exchanges favors for money or power?
Yeah, but not in this economy.
It's a free market.
I mean, if I could have sex with people to, like, solidify influence and money, I probably would. But then again, you got to think about this. Hope Hicks is like a young, hot, she's 31. She's only a little bit older than me. Young, hot lady. And if she really is having sex with him, she is definitely doing it in a sociopathic nature, I guess you could say. Because, boy, you'd have to... I wonder if she, like, throws up in the toilet after. Because, boy, that's just got to be gross. That's just got to be really
We've learned from Monica
disgusting.
Lewinsky.
You know his wig falls off, like, ugh. Ugh.
Do you think they role play? All right. You want to
Role
earn
play
that
as
promotion?
Well, the thing is, she doesn't necessarily need a promotion. It's
Well,
just that she needs his ear, and then as his influence, his executive influence, he can kind of, whatever she wants to happen, she can suggest that it happens. And, since she has sex with him much more often than his wife, which is his conjecture. I'm not claiming that this is a fact, but look at that picture of them holding hands and tell me you're not a little suspicious. I mean, and then people were first saying like, oh, well, he got COVID, she got COVID. But then that argument kind of fell apart when it was revealed that like every single fucking person has COVID who's been near the White House. I don't know. I guess what we should say.
We're at 1 hour.
We're at 1 hour, so we're gonna wrap it up for you folks. We're gonna leave you with a tight knit, tight Labe, and no loose Labe. It doesn't matter. You have a tight Labe, you got a loose Labe, you got a small hog, you got a big hog, you got a chode, you got a toadstool like Donald Trump. It doesn't matter. Because if you don't show the hog and you don't show the Labe, I don't give a fuck what you gotta say. Good night, folks. God bless America.
Peace.